Randomosity on OCCR-Owens Community College Radio is brought to you in part by Allied Record Exchange on 1710 South Reynolds Road in Toledo, Ohio. Also, 3245 Navarre in Oregon, Ohio.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Procedure is Randomosity.
The doctor is in.
My name is Dr. J. Thomas. This is Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio, Toledo, Perrysburg. And we just want to say thank you for joining us this past Saturday for Vinylthon. It was an absolute blast. Now, let's get this road on the show, shall we? If you did listen to Vinylthon, especially at the tail end, you know I teased this week's show, and we're going to be featuring the music of Hank Williams Jr. this week, talking about his influence in the world of country music and really across the board in all forms of music, because you can't turn on the radio nowadays or television or stream wherever you get your music from and not hear Hank's influence in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But long before Hank became this influential person in the world of music, his daddy, Hank Sr., changed the world of country music and became the standard bearer, literally, for all country music. Well, when Hank Jr. was a young child, his mother, Audrey, decided to put him out there to sing Hank songs. And Hank Jr.'s very first album was titled Hank Williams Jr. Sings the Songs of Hank Williams. Reached number 12 on the U.S. country charts, but his follow-up in October of 1964 on the MGM Records label was his very first gold album. And right now, I'd like to spin a track from that for you. It's called I Saw the Light, covering the old Hank Sr. classic, right here on Randomosity.
I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin, I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered alone. Worries and fears I claimed for my own. And like the blind man, the God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
On the air and online at OwensOutcom.com.
All right then, for the record, this is for adults.
Quiet everybody, please.
This is Randomosity.
Back on the Randomosity program on Outcast OCCR-Owens Community College Radio, the only show on the entire Toledo airwave platform, I guess you could say, to play vinyl. And that's all we play here at this show. This week, profiling the music of Hank Williams Jr. Now, through the entire rest of the 1960s, he started to make a name for himself, covering his dad's old songs and covering the songs that, well, the country establishment wanted him to sing. As time went on, Hank got a little restless and decided he wanted to kind of do his own thing. And in 1975, he put together this conglomeration of these different musicians from different groups. Charlie Daniels played on it, Marshall Tucker Band played on it. It was called Hank Williams Jr. and Friends, and it was released in December of 1975, and could have very well been what blew him into the mainstream, but sadly, Hank suffered an accident when he was out on a mountain Took him a long time to recover, and he almost didn't make it, but thank goodness he did. In 1977, he came back on the scene with his first album post-accident. It's called One Night Stands, but the follow-up was quite interesting. It was called The New South, and it was his reintroduction into country with the sound that he wanted to create, co-produced by Waylon Jennings. Here's a cut from that very LP. It's called Feelin' Better, right here on Randomosity.
Moved on down to Sweet Home, Alabama in 1974. Had to get out of Music City and I had to get off the road. Woman, she left and the people wouldn't let me sing nothing but them old sad songs. Had to get high so I wouldn't cry, you know they hit pretty close to home. I'm feeling better now that I'm back on the road, getting it together between making and muscle shows. I started turning up loud and looking at the crowd and bending them guitar strings. Knew all the while, though it was my style, could they ever forget my name? Rocked them in Raleigh, knocked them out of Knoxville, just couldn't do no wrong. People went wild and the band said, child, better keep on playing your songs. I'm feeling better now that I'm back on the road, getting it together between making and muscle shows. Well, my life ain't the same and I had to change, and I hope this music will show. A little bit less of crying and a beer and a little of my own soul. Wailing and toying on them boys, I wanna say thanks to you. You fiddle and you still make me play what I feel, and I don't feel lovesick and blues. And I'm feeling better now that I'm back on the road, getting it together between making and muscle shows. All can do together in my sweet Alabama home, and I'm through forever of trying to put everybody on. I'm feeling better. I got hurt, but I'm back on the road, getting it together. I had to eat a little cornbread. Oh, I've been eating that cornbread, sleeping on the feather bed, drinking that homegrown, writing some new songs. Do it on your own. Eating that cornbread, loving on the feather bed, drinking that homegrown, write a few new songs. This here music's homegrown.
This is Randomosity. It's Randomosity. It's Randomosity. It's Randomosity. It's Randomosity.
Time is catching up with me, 'cause I've been on the road, and the keys to the city are all I've got to show. Though it's easy to take home the belle of the ball, I'm getting tired of it all. And I'm gonna love you once and for all. 'cause you're the one that helped me find myself. And I'm gonna love you and nobody else. You pick me up every time I fall, and if you ever need me, just give me a call, 'cause I'm gonna love you once and for all. Now I look forward to rainy days, so I can learn more of your loving ways. And when I'm home, then you're the star on the stage. And until the final curtain falls, I'm gonna love you once and for all. 'Cause you're the one that stuck it out, and you know that's what love's all about. I could have a woman every time I call, but I'd rather see you walking down the hall, 'cause I'm gonna love you once and for all. And if you ever need me, just give me a call, 'cause I'm gonna love you once and for all. And until the final curtain falls, I'm gonna love you once and for all.
Another track from the New South album, 1977. That is Once and For All. Gee, can you hear the Waylon Jennings influence on that? And, you know, that time period in country music, late 70s through the entire portion of the 80s, really, the Outlaws of Country changed everything. You had Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash was in there as well, Hank Jr., all those other people, man. And they literally turned the country world on their ear. And a lot of people gave them slack because, oh, well, they're not country, and they're too rock and roll, and they're too Southern, and they're too this, and they're too that. But, you know, the one person that you will hear that is cited most by a lot of people nowadays in the world of country music as an influence is Hank Williams Jr. Florida Georgia Line even had a song where they talked about how their mixtape had a little bit of Hank and a little bit of Drake. You can't make that up, folks. Hank Williams Jr. is a profound influence in the world of country music. Getting back into the music now from family tradition, this is the title track on Randomosity.
Country music singers have always been a real close family, but lately some of my kinfolks have disowned a few others than me. I guess it's because I kind of changed my direction. Lord, I guess I went and broke their family tradition. They get on me, want to know, Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? Over and over, everybody made my prediction. if I get stoned and sing all night long. It's a family tradition.
Sending this one out by special request to Scott. It's I've Got Rights. This is Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio.
The doctor is in.
I went down to the Mary Carter paint store. I said, give me one of them Smith & Wesson Magnum 44s. 'Cause there's a man that the law let loose and justice was not done. This man killed my wife and my only little son. I'll never forget the way he looked all through the trial. He had his big name lawyer and he had that smirky smile. Well, yeah, he got you off on a technicality, but you have to grow wings and fly to ever get away from me. 'Cause I got rights too. And this time there won't be no damn lawyers and systems to protect you. But I'm gonna read you your rights. You got a right to know that you're gonna go to hell one of these black nights. And when the trial was over, he had the nerve to say that's the way it goes. I said, well, Hoss, you better get you some corks, 'cause you're gonna have to plug up a few holes. Yes, he thought I was talking just to pass away time, but it kinda looks different now, on his knees begging for his life. Hey, I got rights, I got some rights too. And this time there won't be no damn lawyers and systems to protect you. But I'm gonna read you your rights, because I want you to know that you're gonna go to hell one of these black nights. Systems to save you.
Back on Randomosity, Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio, profiling the music of Hank Williams Jr. this week on the program. And I'll tell you, Hank Jr. coming into the 80s was like a train coming down the tracks that you just could not stop. And this man took the entire decade in the palm of his hand and literally was a star through the entire era. The 1980s country world was dominated by Hank Williams Jr., won Entertainer of the Year multiple times. And when you hear the tracks that we're going to play now for a good portion of the rest of the program coming from that decade, I think you'll agree nobody did it like Hank Williams Jr. Kicking things off right now with something from it's old and new. This is Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio.
Hey man, them ain't high heel sneakers, and the show don't look like cowboy boots, and that ain't rock and roll you're playing, and it sure ain't country or rhythm and blues. You're singing a song about making love to your drummer. Well, gay guitar pickers don't turn me on. And we don't all get into Donna Summer. Do you happen to know any old Hank Williams song? 'Cause you see, I'm a dinosaur. I should have died out a long time before. Have pity on a dinosaur. Hand me my hat, excuse me man, but where's the door? Lot of fun in this old hangout. We get stoned at the jukebox and stay out of fights. Now and then, light a little smoke in the truck out back. Oh, then a little old Jim Beam and we get right. And you know these flashing lights sure make me dizzy. This disco's very strange to my ear. It looks like they've turned the Longhorn into a spaceship. And I'll be leaving just as soon as I finish this beer. 'Cause you see, I'm a dinosaur. Should have died out. There's a whole lot of dinosaurs. Give us our hats, excuse me man, but where is the door? Get us our hats, excuse me man, where's the door?
How come so many people listen to Randomosity?
Good karma.
You're listening to Randomosity. We play everything.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. Interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn. Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old boys can't do. Grow good old tomatoes and homemade wine, and country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run. Those woodland old boys raised on shotguns. We say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give a damn. Came from the West Virginia coal mines and the Rocky Mountains and the western skies. And we can skin a buck, we can run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I had a good friend in New York City. He never called me by my name, just Hillbilly. My grandpa taught me how to live off the land, and his taught him to be a businessman. He used to send me pictures of the Broadway nights, and I'd send him some homemade wine. But he was killed by a man with a switchblade knife. For $43, my friend lost his life. I'd love to spit some beach nut in that dude's eyes and shoot him with my old 45, 'cause a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. 'Cause you can't stop us out and you can't make us run, 'cause we're them old boys raised on shotgun. We say grace, we say ma'am, and you ain't into that, but don't give a damn. We're from North California and South Alabama and little towns all around this land. And we can skin a buck and run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Country boy can survive. Country folks can survive.
Keeping our salute to Hank Williams Jr. rolling this week on Randomosity. This is Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio. Thank you so much for joining us.
I got my mind on Dixie. I've got rambling in my shoes. Merle, he's a drinking that free bubble up, eating that rainbow stew. Now Jones ain't playing no possum. He's the #1 country man. Charlie run the devil out of Georgia, Lord, and the South's gonna rattle again. Yeah, the South's gonna rattle again. Dolly's wrapped up in a movie scene. Tammy's selling books in the stores. Willie's gonna take us to the White House, and Willie's gonna open up the door. And Gilly's selling bulls everywhere you go. They're made out of wood and tin. The ground's gonna shake like a big rattlesnake, and the South's gonna rattle again. Yeah, the South's gonna rattle again. Yeah, the South's gonna rattle again. Yeah, the South's gonna rattle again. We got some big old silver eagles, and we're flying all over this land. And you can bet I'll brag on that rebel flag, and you can damn well count me in. The ground's gonna shake like a big rattlesnake, and the South's gonna rattle again. Yeah, we're gonna shake and rattle again.
the Randomosity program on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio. My name is Dr. J. Thomas. Yes, folks, the doctor is in with the only program on the Toledo airwaves to be playing nothing but vinyl loud and proud every single week, Thursday at 1 o'clock and Saturdays at 2 p.m. at owensoutcom.com. That's Outcom with two M's, Owens, OUTCOMM.com. Now, as I was talking about a little bit earlier, going through the entire decade of the 1980s, Hank Williams Jr. just dominated. Anything and everything the man touched turned to gold, platinum, or multi-platinum status. Looking at his entire run through the 1980s, literally, it's Pressure Is On, platinum, High Notes, gold, Strong Stuff, gold, Man of Steel, gold, Major Moves, platinum, 5-0, gold, Montana Cafe, gold, Hank Live, platinum, Born to Boogie, platinum, Wild Streak, gold. The man did not have one album through the entire 1980s that did not go gold or platinum. That also includes the greatest hits compilations. Amazing, isn't it? Getting back into the music now. This is our salute to Hank Williams Jr. this week on Randomosity Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio.
Woke up this morning tasting Jim Beam, holding the answer to some old boy's dream. Got a bad reputation, guess I'm a live wire, like my whiskey on ice and my women on fire. From Memphis to Mobile, I played all the dives. Lord knows I'm lucky just to still be alive. I'm an all-around rebel, and I won't be denied of my whiskey on ice and my women on fire. I like my whiskey on ice, my women on fire. I like a good sounding guitar, and I won't be called a liar. Spent many long nights with a burning desire for my whiskey on ice and my women on fire. Some folks talk about me, guess they always will. They think it's been an easy ride and all been downhill. What they don't think about, what they don't realize, is the shoes that I'm filling are a mighty big size. One night in Nashville tried to take my life, cause my friends had all left me and so had my wife. But a fast ride to Florida made me realize I had some whiskey on ice and some Florida women on fire. I like my whiskey on ice, my women on fire. Like a good sounding guitar, and I won't be called a liar. Spent many long nights with a burning desire for my whiskey on ice and my women on fire. Yeah, I like my whiskey on ice, my women on fire. I like a good feeling guitar, and I won't be called a liar. I may grow old, but I'll never grow tired of my whiskey on ice and my women on
Randomosity on OCCR-Owens Community College Radio is brought to you in part by Allied Record Exchange on 1710 South Reynolds Road in Toledo, Ohio. Also, 3245 Navarre in Oregon, Ohio.
The doctor is in.
Coming over tonight. coming over tonight.
Just walk through the door. Got a little whirlpool just made for 10. And you can jump out and you can jump in. You can do anything that you want to do. But don't you step on my cowboy boots. Do you want to drink? Hey, do you want to party? Hey, this is old Hank, ready to get the summer started. Friends are coming over tonight. Do you want to drink? Hey, do you want to party? Hey, hey, this is rockin' Randall Hank, ready to get the summertime started. We cooked a pig in the ground, we got some beer on ice. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight. That's right.
The doctor.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
This is Randomosity.
Well, my mama met my daddy down in Alabama. They tied the knot, so here I am. Born on the bayou on the Texas line. Loved in Louisiana, raised on jambalaya. Well, before I could walk, I had a guitar in my hand. By the time I could talk, I had my own band. I went on the road when I was 8 years old. When I turned 15, I was stealing the show. Money to burn and the girls are pretty. It didn't take me long to learn that I was born to boogie. When I was 18, I went to Hollywood. I met Elvis and Marilyn and Johnny B. Good. Got my guitar painted and some California sun. A red Cadillac having too much fun. Now we were playing them halls and jamming them, and we moved it on over to MGM. They said, this is the boy we've been telling you about. He lit a cigar and he stuck his hand out. He said, son, have we got a deal for you? I'm gonna make you a star, give you 50,000 too. I told him my mama didn't raise no fool. I'll take your money, I'll make you move it. I can tell you right now, I was born to boogie. I drank a whiskey by the gallon and I never back down, and I love a good challenge. What I do now is what I did then. I like to get down with all my rowdy friends. Now I can be sweet and I can be mean. I still got my hat and I still wear my jeans. My shades are chrome, my guitar's steel. If you think I won't, then believe me I will. Get down on you, baby, 'cause I ain't no rookie. I was put it apart and I was born to boogie.
Back on Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio, doing our salute this week to the music and influence of Hank Williams Jr. And we also want to say thank you to Allied Record Exchange on Reynolds in Toledo, as well as in Oregon, for supplying a good portion of the records for this week's show and for all of our shows as well. There's no better place in Toledo to pick up your vinyl, as well as DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, even skateboards. Go to Allied Record Exchange and tell them the doctor sent you. Continuing our salute this week to the music of Hank Williams Jr., you know, throughout the entire decade of the 80s, like I said before, he just dominated. I mean, he was, no question, the biggest star in country music of that decade, bar none. Well, as the 80s wound down and Reaganomics kind of faded away, Hank decided that he was going to lean a little bit more towards the rockin' side of things. And in 1988, released an album that has become not only a fan favorite, but a cult favorite among a good portion of the old school country music crowd. From that LP, this is Wild Streak on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio.
I get a wild streak and two dancing feet. I move to the beat of my own drum. I get a wild streak, wanna jump in the seat with two hot mamas and get it on. I get a wild streak, always calling me away from that same old same. I get these wild streaks, and as long as I breathe, ain't no way I'm gonna be tamed. I get a wild streak, always ready to meet some new faces in the crowd. I get a wild streak where you talking to me, I couldn't hear you 'cause the music's so loud. I get a wild streak and I am free as the breeze, and I see the same look in your eyes. I get these wild streaks. Hey baby, do you think you could tame me down tonight? Wild streak, running so deep, about to overflow, the bound of every rockabilly soul. Wild streak, running so deep, just about to overflow, the bounds of this rockabilly soul. Sometimes I think I'm gonna just overflow. Go, 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 go. Don't you see that my bloodline goes way back in time? What did you expect? This is Hank's boy. Do you know how I was raised? I was raised on a rock and roll night, hillbilly days, blues on the weekend, gospel on Sunday. A musical boy about to overflow. Wild, wild, wild streak, running so deep. What did you expect? What did you think? This is Bocephus. Wild streak.
This is Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio. Now, before we get into this next song, I want to preface it by saying that some 25, 30 years ago in the world, not just as a whole, but in culture, society, country music in particular, it was a different time. It was a different vibe. It was a totally different world. And there was this essence of Southern pride among the, I guess, old school of country music. Anybody who came from the South had that type of an attitude within their music. And it wasn't necessarily because anybody was particularly racist, trying to be stereotypical or what have you. It was just a different time. Well, fast forward to present day, and of course a lot of things have changed, and the term of Southern pride means something totally different in this day and age. So please take into account that this song was recorded at a different point in society and at a different point in the world. And from that very same LP, this is Hank Williams Jr. from 1988, called If the South Would Have Won. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for supporting this program.
If the South would have won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the Southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have Texas, and we wouldn't have no killers getting off free. If they were proven guilty, then they would swing quickly instead of writing books and smiling on TV. We'd all learn Cajun cooking in Louisiana, and I'd put that capital back in Alabama. We'd put Florida on the right track, cause we'd take Miami back and throw all them pushers in the slammer. Oh, if the South would've won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the southern states. The day young Skinner died, we'd show our southern pride. If the South would've won, we'd have had it made. A little Dixieland, boys. Oh, yeah. I'd have all the whiskey made in Tennessee, and all the horses raised in those Kentucky hills. The national treasury would be in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I'd put Hank Williams' picture on $100 bills. I'd have all the cars made in the Carolinas, and I'd ban all the ones made in China. I'd have every girl child sent to Georgia to learn to smile and talk with that southern accent. It drives me wild. Fiddles made in Virginia, cause they sure can make them sound so fine. I'm going up on Wolverton Mountain and see old Clifton Clowers and have a sip of his good old Arkansas wine. Hey, if the South would've won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the southern states. When Patsy Cline passed away, that would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have had it made. I said, if the South would have won, we'd have had it made. Might even be better off.
Back on Randomosity on Outcast, OCCR-Owens Community College Radio, the only program in the Toledo area to be playing vinyl. My name is Dr. J. Thomas, and I would like to now fast forward a little bit in Hank Williams Jr.'s career. See, throughout the 90s, while he continued to put out albums, he kind of played it a little bit low-key. Still did music, still did concerts, but those of you who are Monday Night Football fans, you know, he did the theme to Monday Night Football, gosh, for years. Well, in the fall of 2011, a little bit of controversy got stirred up from an interview that Hank gave on Fox News, and the whole premise was that they were supposed to be on there talking about his dad's brand new project that was out. They had pulled together some archives and were releasing it to the public for the first time, and that's what they were there to talk about, and the conversation on Fox News evolved into a totally different subject. Well, ESPN, in response, decided that basically Hank Williams Jr. didn't have freedom of speech, and they pulled his song from Monday Night Football. And so Hank decided, in response to this, that he was going to go back in the studio, and he did an album that was regarded as a return to his roots and a return to the Hank Williams Jr. that everybody always loved and knew, and influenced people like Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker and many, many, many others. So let's turn it up and share it with our neighbors, shall we? From Old School New Rules, this is Hank Williams Jr. and Keep the Change. My name is Dr. J. Thomas, and ladies and gentlemen, the doctor has left the office. This is Randomosity.
I'll keep my freedom, I'll keep my guns, try to keep my money and my religion too. Try to keep on working, try to keep on smiling. I will keep my Christian name and y'all can keep the change. I'll keep my heroes' pictures on the wall. I'll keep my family safe. You bluff and I'll call. I'm gonna keep my big V8, keep my friends the same. Keep the government out of my business and y'all can keep the change. This country sure as hell been going down the drain. We know what we need, we know who to blame. United Socialist States of America, how do you like that name? I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change. And friends wanna put me down, ask for my opinion, then twist it all around. Supposed to be talking about my father's new CD. Well, two can play that gotcha game, just wait and see. Don't tread on me, this country sure as hell been going down the drain. We know what we need, we know who to blame. Socialist States of America, don't you just love that name? I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change. I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change. Yeah, you can keep Fox and Friends and ESPN out of your homes too. Cause Bo Cephas and all his rowdy friends and his song is out of there. Yes, sir!
Yeah!